Okay, so far we're just sort of building the basics of the website. Now I'm going to be showing you a few things now. Now the next one I'm going to show you is about bringing images into the actual page and how we can do that. So I'll just show you very, very quickly. So just a straightforward way. So let's just say if I have just a shape, a rectangle, I could use an ellipse, I could use any shape whatsoever. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring an image into this shape. Okay, so the easiest way is to navigate to your folder. So I'm just moving very, very quickly to where we are. Okay, so what I've actually got is I've got a folder that I'm calling photos. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just make this so I can see the image and the shape. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll quite simply drag it in. It's as simple as that. Now I'll just take the stroke off. Okay, and if I just zoom in, you'll notice here I can do things like, you know, make my shape rounded. I could do it any shape I wanted. Okay, so if I want a different image, now I don't know if this is, let's see if this will go in. It doesn't like it. All right, so I probably need to, it's a WebP, so what I might do is just come back here. I might want to use this image. I might just do a screenshot. So on an Apple, Command Shift 4. Okay, so I've just taken a screenshot, and I'm happy for you to do that. With this now, I'll just move. There it is. Let's just move that image over there. So that's just a screenshot without naming it. And with this file selected, I'll just drag it in. Okay, now if I want to adjust things, I'm just double clicking. And now what I have is I've actually selected the photo content. And in here, I can resize, reposition in that way. Okay, so we can sort of adjust. I don't want to make the image smaller than the frame. Move things around, and that's done. So that's very, very straightforward for bringing things in. Okay, so now if you have a want to keep the same shape, what I'll do is I might just option drag that, and so, or option out drag. So now I've got a copy. And so what I'll do, let's just say I've got a different band, bring that in. And so now what I have is I have exactly the same shape, but with different content. And I can just keep on bringing and adjusting new things in there. Okay, so now what I might do is this next stage. Okay, and so what I might do is I might make it, now all of this text is in one box, so I could do this differently and copy paste. Okay, and I could actually have different shapes. Now, the reason I'm doing this, I'll just do a couple of these, is I want this to be a button, okay? And I want this text for Nirvana to be a button. Just holding down Option so I can make it a bit smaller. The reason being, now if I have this as a button, the whole thing is selected. It's all one big button. That way I can't select individual bands. So what I want is I'm going to make a page that has oops. Okay. All right. So let's just say that I'm making it start with these. Now, what I'm going to do is, let's just say I'm getting all these arranged. Okay. I'll just move in a bit closer. Okay. I'll move this over this side. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a page that links to this band button, okay? And I'll get rid of these images, but I'll actually probably use them on the band page, okay? So what I've got, I'm just going to have a whole stack of bands that scroll downwards, okay? Let's just imagine I'm changing all of these into individual buttons. But now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make my pages. Okay, and so I'll make a page which will be about or the news. I'll make a page that has tickets, but I'm just going to make a page which is for say Nirvana. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to duplicate this page. Okay, so what I'll do, let's just make this a bit bigger. I'm going to hold down my Option or Alt key and drag a copy. Okay, so it's exactly the same thing. Now this is important because I want the menu to stay the same. But now, I'm now going to make a page which is with the bands. Now I'll probably change colors and things, but I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. Now I'll just quickly come over here and let's just quickly just do a Nirvana. I'll just go Wikipedia. I just want some text quickly. Okay, so I'll just probably just copy that. Now, before I do anything, I'm just going to come over. I'll just paste it here. Okay, mainly so that I can actually just do a little bit of editing. I don't want to necessarily have all of this. Okay, we'll make it into is man never found Bassist, and I'll just have and drummer. All right. Okay. Maybe I'll just have that. Okay. So I'm just going to copy this text. Now, this could be anything about it. So I'll come over here. And just make my text much smaller. I'm going to show you something with text. So I've just made this 12-point text, which I'm sure you, actually, let's just undo that because it's a lot of, I'll make that 12 and I'll make this 12-point leading. Okay. Because I want to show you something. Now I'm zooming in. So I'm sure you've done some printing and printed some type. Now 12-point type, if you printed that out on a printer, is actually quite large. Now if I have a look at 12-point type on this, you can see it's actually really, really small. And this is to do with the screen itself because of high resolution screens. So when we're building apps and building text for webs, you've really got to build it so what you see is what you get. Okay, so you need to sort of, it has to look right. So I might make this text, I'll just use my up arrow. That's about 18. And I'll just make my leading. So I'm just clicking and just using the down and up arrow to adjust that. Okay, maybe make that a bit bigger. Okay. All right. So let's have a look at that. Okay, so that's probably a bit better. Okay, and you can see we can make this scrolling. All right, so I'm going to make the, now I'll do a little bit of work with this, of course. I'll make this better. How about if I have a, I might have a big shape just sort of in the halfway there. I'll move that down underneath. Okay. I'll do that. Oops. Hold my option. If I hold my option key and I'm scaling, you can see it scales from the left and the right. So that's a little handy thing that works in all sorts of Adobe programs. So I'm just adjusting that. I'll just get, oops, all these lined up. Okay, I might just select all of those, everything there, and make a center align. So that's everything exactly centered now. And I might group all of that. And now there we are in the exact center. Okay, let's just say that this is my look here. Okay, so we'll zoom out. Now I might make this page, doesn't need to be as tall as that. Let's make it back here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this Nirvana text a button. Okay, I'm going to make the whole thing into a button. All right, so this is how we make buttons, and so you'll be able to make buttons for some of the different pages. And so I want you to build a few different pages, just to regard it. You can work out what pages you want to build, but just so that you can build a nice prototype to have it working in this way. And so this is how we make a button. Okay, I'm coming over to prototype. Now you'll notice that individual text or elements can be selected by themselves. And you see when I do that with the prototype, I actually get this little arrow. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drag this arrow to this page. Okay, now let's have a look over on the right-hand side. So I could make this transition. So let's just see what happens when we do this. So the transition will be a dissolve. And it's saying, okay, we'll ease out. Well, we'll talk about these. So I'll just do ease out. And we've got a duration, and it's saying 0.3 seconds. Now, I'm going to change that because this is actually going to be much too quick. But let's just have a look and see what happens now. So if I come over to this and I tap, can you see what happens now? When I hover over Nirvana, I get that little hand symbol and I go to this page. Okay. All right. So what I might do is I might get this button and go back to this page. And now I'm going to make this much slower. So I'll come down, I might make it 1 second. I'll show you a few different ways in which we can do this. Okay, and you can work out which one that you want to have. So here we go. Okay, and that takes us back. So this is how we start building the interactivity. Okay, and we can make links to all these pages. And so if this is all good, now let's just quickly do something really, really quickly. Let's just say that I want the Violent Femmes. Okay. I'll just quickly get their Wikipedia. All right, copy that, come over here, paste that. Yeah, let's just get rid of all that. Don't need all these things. All right, and just come back here and just get an image. And let's just get an image of the Violent Femmes. So let's say, okay, we'll just grab this one. Okay, I'm just going to right click, see if this works. I'm going to control click, right click, save image as. Violent Femmes. Okay. So now I'll come over to here. Okay. Now, I've spent my time getting this page all set up. I might just duplicate this page and come in, copy that, paste that. Let's just zoom in. Option. There we go. And over here. Get rid of that. Oops. Paste that. And come over here, just make my window a little smaller. Okay, there's my Violent Femmes. Let's just get back to XD. And we go. Okay, so once I've built one of these, I can now build another. And so let's just come over here. This is the Violent Femmes. Link that to this page. This one, because it's a duplicate, it's already going back to this page. And you can see here with the prototyping, what's happening. I'm getting this sort of network of linked pages. Okay, and so I'm going to be able to come in, build new pages. So building new pages is as simple as just option dragging, select the artboard, and now you can option drag. And so, whoops, come over here, and now I can now start building a new page. Okay, and I'll delete a lot of this and put some information about the, but make it news, big day out news. That can be there, maybe some photos and some text. But having built the initial page with the header and the like, we're actually doing pretty good. Okay, and I'll come down here. I probably want to have some social media buttons in the header. I might build a footer and things, but we're just sort of building away now. But the main thing, what we're doing here, as you can see, is we're starting to get some really easy links between our pages using these buttons. And I can show you, actually I'll show you a couple more just quickly while we're at it. Okay, so we spoke about how we can link. So this one here, this is just a dissolve. Okay, well, I'll click in the dissolve. Let's see what happens if I go push left. Now let's test that. Okay, so here you can see that the whole, so this one here, I'll go push right. Okay. So there's a few little ones you can experiment with this. Now, with this ease out, that's very quick. So I might make that slower. I'll do this again. What the ease out does, when I do this, you'll notice that it slides and then it slows down to a stop. That's called easing out or easy easing. Okay, and so you'll notice that there's ease in and ease out. There's also snap, and don't go too crazy. It can be very annoying to actually look at these if you have things bouncing around and whatnot. But you can come through and make things. So with our design, let's just come in here. Let's just say, whoops, object and group. Might put a little drop shadow on this. Okay. So we can sort of just see how this works. There you can see a bit of a drop shadow, just add a little bit of depth maybe. So that's, if you have a look here, I've got on the X, the X is horizontal, so there's no difference. So if I made this much bigger on the X, you can see that the drop shadow is moving to the right. Okay, so normally a drop shadow might just be a little bit to the right and a little down. So I'll let you experiment with that. It can actually be any color. So if we came in here and wanted it to be a sort of a dirty color, well, we can green, we can actually make it. So the standard is actually just to do a black, and here you can see that we can have it as a semi-transparent grey sort of colour. But I'll let you experiment with that. Okay, don't put drop shadow on text though. It gets really awkward and difficult to read. So there we go. So we're starting to build links between pages.